Good day. You are listening to Evolution by Philip Malika. You can find me on Substack at philipmalika.substack.com. Today's column is entitled A Primer Guide to the Shift in Consciousness, Part 1. The Who, What, When, and Why. The who and what. Within the next 30 years or so, human life on Earth is going to change to the extent that it will be unrecognizable from what we have known. Perhaps you have heard, begun to sense, or have otherwise availed yourself of the idea that humankind is in the midst of a seminal, game-changing upgrade referred to as the shift in consciousness. This is literally a groundbreaking departure in how we perceive ourselves, our world, our physics, our science, everything. It challenges our most basic understandings of life on planet Earth. Once completely actualized by humanity, this event promises an earthly experience for humans that is different from anything experienced previously for the entirety of our existence. The shift is a core level zero change for humanity and will render an experience of life on this planet that circumvents all previous limitations as to what we can accomplish and what we will be capable of, regardless of what anyone else is doing. No matter what societies do, governments do, militaries do, we will be able to fashion our lives independently of all of those aspects of our world and without regard for their rules and laws and control. In computer parlance, we will be operating below the operating system. In game parlance, we will be operating in God mode. Sounds like a pretty big deal, right? It is. Now, most things that sound like this, that sound too good to be true, are just that, too good to be true. Just another capitalist venture meant to separate fools from their money. That is not the case here. The shift has happened. Now it's up to us to assimilate it for ourselves. If it doesn't work out, the worst case is that you spend a good amount of time understanding yourself and your behaviors. The upside, however, is epic. We are all mostly, at this point, the dogs with electric collars. We know where the electric fence perimeter is, and we don't venture beyond it in terms of our consciousness, our self-awareness. But the electric fence has been deactivated. Greater self-awareness is ours for the taking. We only need to stop standing at the fence perimeter barking and just walk through it. The more we move in that direction, the more will be revealed to us through our essence. We will not get additional information if we do not utilize the information we have. Essence respects our experience as humans and doesn't push us to things we are not ready for. We will be having this new experience side by side with other humans that know nothing of this phenomenon. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and you will move at your own pace in coming to terms with changes that this brings about for all of humanity. It doesn't matter if you do or don't recognize it. Life goes on, and we'll either have the old experience of life, or we'll have the shifted experience of life. The choice is ours to make. One of the greatest aspects of the shift is how it will affect our lives with regard to how we interact with the rest of the world. Many of us are unhappy with things in the world as they are. We see other people acting badly or poorly in our estimation and wish for them to change so that we can be happy. We see governments, nations, individuals who we disagree with, but who seem to be able to control us with rules, laws, taxes, threats, and violence. We think they need to change. The shift will make their changing unnecessary. All we need to do is be open to the information coming to us from Essence and be willing to change ourselves. And for all the individuals who will continue exercising and experiencing a reality in which people are ruled by force, shifted individuals will instead simply fly below or above the radar and create what we want, how we want, when we want, and allow others the same courtesy. People can still choose to have those experiences of control and limitation and conflict, but for the rest of us who choose the new paradigm, we will be operating on a different level of reality in which we will not be subject to the use of force and threat to control us. Their belief systems will be optional to us. Shifted individuals may still choose to have those old types of experiences, but everyone involved in them will be there by choice, not by coercion or force. We will be immune to that kind of physical oppression and control. We will offer ourselves choices we have never had before. Humanity has absolutely zero reference to relate to this, and there is nothing in our past that could prepare us for what is occurring right now on this planet. Even though I have some foreknowledge and experience in these early stages of the shift, I do not know exactly how it's going to take place on an objective, pragmatic level. I don't know experientially what this will look like, but it does seem to be shaping up in terms of how it may play out. This is not a matter of something that might happen in the future. The shift has occurred, and everyone and everything is going through a process of shifting. How long it takes and what it entails will have everything to do with the individual shifting and how they approach it. We will all shift, but we won't all avail ourselves of a widened awareness. What it will actually look like on our planet remains to be seen, but it is certain to be unparalleled in its reach and effects on humanity. There is not a person or system on this planet, indeed, even in this universe, that will be untouched by this phenomenon. Not everyone here now will see this through to its conclusion in their lifetime. Many people are not equipped to be able to assimilate the changes that are coming about. Physically, mentally, emotionally, the changes will be too much for them. The old belief systems will be difficult to override. Our bodies will be pushing more energy through them, and a blocked or unhealthy body will not be able to endure the ramped up flow. And many people will choose instead to depart their lives, to disengage, rather than go through the process. Each life, or focus of attention, or physical manifestation, if you wish, will choose whether and how much they will engage with this. Some people will not engage with it at all. They may not even be aware that it is occurring, and will run out their clock, at best, none the wiser. At worst, perplexed by what they are witnessing around them. One thing is certain, anyone who decides to stick around for this and engage it will not be immune to the changes, and it will take considerable self-work to assimilate. If not, never fear, no one is missing out or lost. They almost certainly have other focuses who will participate in the shift, and even others that are completely shifted. No one is getting left behind, regardless of the choice they make in this lifetime. Whether we understand it or not, we are all consciousness. We are all interconnected. This binds us with each other, regardless of the roles we play in any given lifetime. So, for those of us who will choose to embrace the shift and engage it and explore it fully, in the second part of this column, I will offer some tips for things that we can begin doing that will lessen the stress, confusion, and trauma that will accompany these base level changes we will be experiencing. Many of these ideas have been offered before for various purposes, but I will suggest things that will be implicitly helpful as we engage the prescient changes to our minds and bodies due to the shift. But while we're still here, let's do a quick review on what the shift actually is and where it comes from. The when and why. Essence designed this physical reality and inhabits it through amnesic focuses of human form to experience itself as separate and individual and explore various themes that vary from essence to essence. Implicit in that design from the very beginning was the promise of a time in which humanity would have the experience in reverse, knowing itself once again as essence, but in human form. This is, in my estimation, probably the greatest story ever told, and we are living it. What were once avatars, so to speak, of essence on Earth, these current human forms that we now inhabit, would now be fully aware of ourselves as essence, using the same body consciousness that had once masked the entire truth of who and what we are. Essence, which had only ever been non-physical or semi-physical, would now be fully engaged in this physical system. For us humans, a physical experience as before, but with full awareness and knowledge of ourselves as essence. We are collectively shaking off our amnesia, kicking the tires, and seeing what this new experience might look like. This master source event began around the year 1900, with the subjective portion of the shift playing out in those 100 years. In that time, all the pieces and parts took shape and position as we, the collective consciousness, prepared itself for the objective insertion of the shift at the start of this current century. So we had 100 years or so to get up to speed with the mental and physical requirements and all the other pieces that needed to be in place in order for humanity to take the next steps. At that time, the year 2000, the green light was given, the switch was flipped, and the objective portion of the shift commenced in full force. So the timeline is, in brief, prior to 1900, essence manifests amnesic focuses of attention, which are birth to death lives, who explore various themes of separation and individuality that serve the overall intentions and explorations of essence. From the year 1900 to 2000, in that 100 years, was the subjective portion of the shift. Essence prepares humanity for the objective insertion of the shift, introducing topics and technologies that will serve the successful rollout of the shift when the time comes. The year 2000 is the beginning of the objective insertion of the shift, in which humanity begins to have conscious awareness, in other words, remembrance of itself as essence. And from approximately 2050 to 2075, the shift in consciousness will be fully realized and integrated in this universe, this dimension. Essence fully manifests itself in physical form. As I have stated many times, the shift in consciousness effectively takes the blueprint for our physical reality and expands the feature set of what is possible for a shifted individual to become aware of who and what we really are as essence, our origin, and our capabilities. As you can tell, this is a major upgrade. It will affect everything in ways we can scarcely even imagine. It will take our understanding of ourselves and our world and stand it on its ear as we integrate the new information to our physical lives. It is the remembrance of ourselves as essence. Subjective, energetic beings having a physical or objective experience. We will know ourselves as the spiritual beings we have always been, previously throttled into physical bodies to have a pure experience of separation from the universal, creating one and whole, which is our source. But now, with all the knowledge and awareness of ourselves and our world laid bare for a brand new type of physical experience, without limitation or regard for what anyone else believes or is choosing to experience. In other words, we will be able to experience true freedom. We are the saviors we have been waiting for. In part 2, I will share some tips and practices on ways we can get out in front of this thing and ease our transition with the least stress, trauma, and confusion. Thanks for reading and listening, and look for the next installment forthwith. See you next time.